Coach, how do you feel the defense is preparing this week for a really tough offense in USC?
Yeah, I mean, we're just going step by step. The process of doing what we do and try to continue to lay the foundation and the groundwork for our defense is a continuing process. So it just so happens we're playing an outstanding offense with some great football players this weekend. So it's part of the process, and it's going to be a good opportunity for us to see where we're at.
You're very well versed in their scheme and what they like to do. What are some of the primary challenges?
Everything. Starting up front, their offensive line is arguably one of the best that we're going to see this season. The quarterback obviously speaks for himself, and everything kind of goes through him. Schematically, they're going to attack your coverages, and they're going to attack what you do and have a good beat on it. They've had 2 weeks to prepare for us, so and their head coach and their offensive staff we have experience going against each other, so they know what we do. So there's familiarity with that. Really the X factor is they have some really good personnel, or great personnel, and those guys are our second year.
What about the ability to impact the quarterback in a game like this? How important is it, and what do you think about the capability they have?
Yeah, I mean, every game, I think it starts with that, especially at this day and age. We gauge ourselves defensively, first and foremost by yards per play. Okay, so kind of the old school approach, or the age-old approach to playing good defense is stopping the run, getting people to third down, and being able to maybe get exotic and pressure them and do those things. But this is an offense that is third down and everything, and but they have the ability to run the football. This running back is the best that I've seen in the last 2 years. Number 0, and they got Jones from last year, but he's the best that I've seen in the last 2 years in this league. He's big, he's physical, he has great feet. When you combine that with the best quarterback, or arguably the best quarterback in the country, and there's not much better skill. It can be a pretty dynamic formula for offense. So we're going to have our hands full.
How do you balance the guys getting a feel for everything Caleb can do while also trying to coach them to still just do your job, don't do too much to try to contain them?
Yeah, well, ultimately at the end of the day, it's all about us. That's what we really got to get our guys to understand is we're not going to change a fundamental or a technique or change the way we play a coverage. We do what we do, and when you try to get too creative or too quote unquote cutting edge, then what you do is you sacrifice like the fundamentals, the tackling, the technique, the block protection, the pursuing the football, the cup. All those things. So when you start getting too out of the ordinary, then you start getting away from what are the things that are really going to help you grow and develop into the unit that you want to be.
When you have I think 6 sacks against Fresno, that's normally going to come with some turnovers that are generated. How much of that is just the lock? How much of it is guys maybe like having confidence to attack situations, or what do you make of that?
Well, one, they're really well coached offenses, and when you have just disciplined programs that have established cultures. You look at Southern Utah; they're in their second year. They knew who they were playing. They played it close to the vest. They didn't want to lose the game on offense because they were playing situational and they were managing the game. And Mike Gundy's been at Oklahoma State, and that culture he has on offense has been set there for 20 years, 19 years. So and then. That's a group that's not going to turn over the ball. Jeff Tedford, has been doing it, for 50 years or however long he's been doing it. You know what I mean? And so, the culture on those, on those offenses is they're not going to try to do anything out of the ordinary. And their quarterbacks really responded to that. They're not forcing turnovers, not doing anything for them to lose the game. So I think it's credit to the quarterback coaches because we hit the quarterback on all 3 games. USC, they're more of a dynamic offense, and this quarterback is more of a creator. So, he's obviously as good as he is, and we're going to continue to try to affect the quarterback in everything we do. So, if we can affect that guy, eventually the ball is going to start bouncing our way. So, we practice it every week, and it's something that comes in bunches, and we hope that this week will be the start.
Coach, so trying to piggyback off that one with the ends, obviously getting pressure. Important, like you said, to get pressure on them. But what's the challenge and the balance of you know, to not obviously give up the edge while you're getting pressure, but just also, like you said, not to overcoach it and just let them play.
Yeah, I mean, it is a fine line. It is a balance, and obviously you have a plan every week because you gotta, you gotta be able to contain the quarterback. But I know that most quarterbacks are least effective when they're getting flushed and when they're having to run for their lives. So, we're all about trying to affect the spot and affect the timing of the routes. All these quarterbacks and quarterback coaches are coaching their guys at a high level. If they see corners, they take check downs. If they see, if they get max protection, they're going to take shots. If we can affect the spot of the quarterback, that's the most important thing. If we can get them off the spot, then that gives us a better chance than otherwise.
What have you thought about the secondary through 3 games?
Yeah, I mean, we've done a solid job. We've kept the ball in front of us. We've played situational football. We've dropped a couple of interceptions that we had opportunities to really affect the game. We had 2 against Oklahoma State where we didn't get into the coverage check that we needed to at the end of the game. That, I mean, we either would have had a huge sack or it would have been a pick 6. And so overall we're still learning and we're still developing depth. So it's still a process. We're going to continue to stay consistent.
Coach, you mentioned the strength of USC's offensive line and then trying to carry that momentum of last week's pressure into this week. How do you continue that momentum?
Yeah, like I said, it's just continuing to develop, starting with your stance, then with your get off, and then, talking about pass sets and the pass sets that those guys that our keys are going to give us. Are they giving deep set, over set, quick set, and getting our guys to continue to hone their pass rush skills and those techniques. As you can see, our defensive line, we really don't have them do a whole lot of things. It's really about, run recognition and rushing the passer, and we just want to continue to develop that. I'm one of the few coaches that believes that you can develop a pass rusher. I don't believe it's simply who you recruit. I think it's something that can be developed, and we're going to continue to develop our guys.
Thanks, Coach.